In vitro fertilization is a method of assisting childbirth, controversial especially in religious communities. Today I'll explain this process and the factors that makes it disputable in society. As a foundation for my research, I will be quoting scientists and writers on the biological side of in vitro fertilization. And as a foundation for my opinion, I will be quoting the Bible. In vitro fertilization, or as most people call it IVF, is a process in which healthy and mature egg cells are fertilized outside of the body. The fertilized egg cells will then develop in a type of liquid in laboratories, closely monitored. This process is not as modern as it sounds. The first successful IVF child was born in 1978. Ever since then, IVF has artificially caused infertile couples to conceive. Even so, a process created in the 20th century would not be in the Bible. Hence, Christians are unable to decide whether having this treatment is morally right or wrong. This is because the IVF process is, without a doubt, unnatural. The treatment requires artificial liquid similar to that found in a woman's womb. It is also a human alternative to the natural way that has been specially tailored by God Himself. Other reasons include having a third party to an intimate relationship, the act of disposing of other embryos after the process is finished, and the possible interference of God's plan concerning infertility. A couple in an intimate relationship is considered adultery by the moral law and the Ten Commandments. In ancient Israel, a man and a woman must commit to his or her relationship. Even with consent, nothing should be allowed to interfere with their intimacy. Quoting myjewishlearning.com, according to rabbinic tradition, adultery is considered one of the three sins, along with idolatry and murder, that people should avoid even at the pain of death. The gravity of adultery is evident by the fact that the Bible describes the offense as being punishable by the death penalty for both the man and the woman. On the other side, no sexual intercourse takes place that includes the third party, and I think that is what's known to be forbidden. In my personal opinion, the third party cannot be said to have interfered with the couple's relationship. The couple has no intention to commit adultery, and the third party merely helped with conceivement. Having the IVF process should not be subject to adultery. Quoting Hebrews 13, verse 4, "Let marriage be held in honor among all, and let the marriage bed be undefiled, for God will judge the sexually immoral and adulterous. For you formed my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb." This verse is saying that even before birth, there is life within the womb. Jeremiah 1 verse 5 says that, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I consecrated you." God knew us before we were in the womb. God must have also known each and every embryo. Each embryo has the potential to be human life. In another quote, Mark T. Brown from the University of Wisconsin says that even in the embryonic stages of our lives, each of us was a human being, and as such, worthy of concern. Both science and the Bible respect the possibility of human life in each and every embryo. Ancient Jewish traditions are also known to give capital punishment for killing human life in a woman's womb, even in the earliest stages of pregnancy. In the IVF process, embryos are extracted from the womb, and more than one will be taken. The healthiest of them will survive, and the rest are destroyed or frozen. Morally, killing and destroying anything concerning human life should be considered murder. Arguably, however, this survival of the fittest test also occurs in normal childbirth. Not all embryos in a female will grow up to be her offspring. Only a select one at a time will survive. By the end of a female's age of pregnancy, the rest of the embryos will too die. The concerns about the IVF process is that it destroys potential human life, involves a third party in a marital relationship, and that it is unnatural. In a scientific point of view, the third party has no relationship that interferes with marriage. The death of other embryos are common in a natural order, and it is okay for humans to create solutions for our own problems. In a biblical point of view, there is no intention of adultery, and most importantly, children are gifts from God. Psalm 127 verse 3 says, "Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb a reward." There is no story in the Bible where a child is denied to a God-loving couple. I think that everyone deserves to have children. If you can remember, populating the earth was one of God's first commands when humans first were on earth. Genesis 1 verse 28 says, "And God blessed them, and God said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth.